in 2005, Congress enacted sweeping reforms of how class actions are litigated, and it began a process of nationalizing or federalizing class action litigation. And there's an inevitable tail that follows such a sweeping enactment. The cases have to percolate up through the trial courts, through the circuit courts of appeal, and eventually, if the Supreme Court feels like the rules are not being interpreted the way they want them interpreted, then they're going to step in. And that's what we're seeing happening right now, is the Supreme Court is getting very active in establishing exactly what the national identity for class actions is going to look like. The overall trend that I see is that a lot fewer class actions can be litigated in state court. Class actions have to go to federal court now, by and large, and the Supreme Court is making the bar for establishing a class action and actually getting to the payday that a plaintiff is motivated by much harder. It's a much higher bar than it was. Winners and losers, the changes that we're seeing from the Supreme Court could cut either way. I think by and large they're generally viewed as favorable to defendants, favorable to the corporations who are typically targets of class actions, but there's no free lunch. One of the side effects, to take one example, one of the cases from the Supreme Court makes the class certification process a lot more robust and merits-oriented. It used to be that at the class certification stage, which is a critical stage in determining whether a case will proceed as a class action or proceed as an individual case, that stage used to be very non-merits based. So courts were reluctant to allow the defendant to force the plaintiff to prove the merits of the case. The Supreme Court has made it clear now that the merits are not completely out of bounds, that there's a rigorous analysis required at that stage, and because of that, that process, the class certification process, is more robust. And the plaintiffs who are seeking to litigate a big class action with a lot of dollar signs on it will sharpen their spears a little bit more, will be a little bit more prepared, maybe a lot more prepared for the class certification motion. That means that the process is going to be more intensive and more expensive. And the net effect of the most important decisions in this area is that the bar is raised, or the noose is tighter, however you want to look at it. I think we're in a period that we'll look back on 10 years, 20 years from now as the decade when a national class action platform emerged.